What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I've got some more crazy Entitled Parents stories for you which you're gonna love. But before we get into them, I just want to give a quick thank you to the 10,000 or so new subscribers we've got in the past week. The channel has been getting a lot more views recently, so thank you very much for that. But that does now mean that over half of you watching right now are not subscribed. We're currently at 522,000 subscribers and I want to get to 600k as quickly as possible, so if you are not subscribed, please do hit that button. Of course, it's completely free. You can always change your mind and unsubscribe later, but I promise you won't regret it. Entitled Mum at Starbucks. Years ago in college, I worked at a Starbucks near a high school and middle school. We always had an after-school rush, with tons of kids getting frappuccinos. If you've never worked at Starbucks, you probably don't know how the drinks are made, so I'll inform you on the magic of the caramel frappuccino. It's basically ice, sugar, milk, sugar, coffee base, whipped cream, then more sugar. The coffee base comes to the store as a powder, and they mix it with warm water at the store. We don't brew it there. So I get this maybe 12 to 13-year-old girl ordering a caramel frappuccino. No extra requests, just the standard drink. I made it so I know it was made correctly. I was a trainer and shift supervisor and had a fancy black apron. She brings the caramel frappuccino back, complaining that the coffee tastes burnt. I actually laughed. It's basically just coffee flavoring, and if you've ever had one, they don't taste like coffee at all. So I kindly explained that, well, the coffee in the drink isn't brewed, and it all comes from the same place. So yeah, of course, I'll remake it, but it will definitely have the same flavor. I offered to do extra caramel flavor and topping to make it even sweeter. She agreed. I remade the thing, asked her to try it to make sure it was better this time. I even tried a sample of that picture in a tiny cup to make sure nothing was off about it. Like maybe there wasn't enough water in the mix. It was fine. So I called the girl up to the counter again, gave her the second frap, told her to keep the first one. Oh my god. So like an hour later, the mum comes in with the kid. She was demanding I give them their money back. She was all mad because I was rude to laugh. I tried to explain that, sorry, it's just really funny, and I wanted to explain how the drink was made so the kid could order it the way she likes it next time. I also explained that we don't give cash back. I gave her a brand new drink she was happy with and offered a free drink card for next time. No go. I'm calling corporate to report your rude behavior, blah blah blah. I gave her the phone number and said, be my guest, all with a smile. Oh guys, I cannot imagine ever working in a Starbucks. I mean, I assume that some of you watching right now do or have worked in one. Let me know down below what it's like. How many Karens do you meet a day? It must be the most toxic work environment of all time. That customer base, oh Jesus, I can't think of anything worse. I've literally seen so many stories recently about Karens going into Starbucks without face masks, for example, just, you know, ordering coffee, going against all the rules, and then getting frustrated when they're told to leave. You know, it just must be such a bad place to work. Now, just to epitomize how much Starbucks can bring about entitled people, this same dude, OP, has written another story about his work. The case of the too hot chocolates. My other post made people happy, so here's another one from Starbucks. It was near closing time when a regular came through with their usual order, 2 kids hot chocolates. The espresso machines have a button for kids temp, which automatically shuts off the steamer at a slightly lower temperature. The regular temp for adults is like 160, it's about 140 for kids. I think this was years ago. There's a couple of facts to the case that need to be mentioned. 1, these folks normally came through during rush, so their drinks would usually be sitting on the cashier counter for a few minutes before being handed through the window. And 2, our second and third espresso machines were already taken down for cleaning that night. So when they pull up, they get their hot cocoa immediately off the bar, no wait time. I could tell that the couple were in a bad mood, but I didn't really think about it. Well, the crew and I hear literal tires screeching and see the vehicle pull through the drive-thru, straight to the window. The husband knocked on the window, but I was already on my way from the back to go see what was up. The mum yells, "These hot chocolates are way too hot. If I gave this to my kids, they'd burn their mouths." So I offer a few fixes. Milk, an ice cube or 2, extra whipped cream, no go. Mum wants them remade. At kids temp this time. I left the original drinks in view of the window. As a seasoned food service worker, I know what happens if those leave view. So we remade them, added a splash of cold milk and handed them over. But the mum screamed, "Those are the same ones!" I pointed out the ones on the counter which had stickers. Since this didn't go through the register, no stickers. They take the drinks and mum comments, "How hard is it to F up a hot chocolate?" Then we see them pull into a parking spot. I sent the two baristas to the back and had my shift supervisor in training up front because I knew this was going to be bad. The people hanging out in the cafe area heard the entire thing and were all watching the door as well. The mum comes in yelling about how she's so glad she tested the drinks the first time because her kids would have been seriously harmed. I gave her 2 free drinks cards, but she said we owed her more than some free drinks. She wanted an apology. I didn't see it, but she accused my co-worker of rolling his eyes. Then she goes on to scream, "I own my own business and I'd never treat people with this level of disrespect." The hot cocos fly at us. We dodge. At this point, I pointed to the door and just said, "Out now or we call the police. Do not come back to this store. We have your license plate on camera. This whole thing is on camera." She left immediately. They came back one other time during the day. I marked out their drinks so they got them free, and I reiterated, "Do not ever come back here." They never did after that, thank Christ. The third case fact I'll put here, because we had no way of knowing beforehand. Number 3. That machine was overheating and not shutting off at 140. I checked after close and it was going to 160, but we had no way of knowing at the time of the incident. And if I had known, I would have asked the barista to just do it manually. But so much was made of the kids' temp thing, I ensured that she pressed the button. The end. Well, I've got to say a massive thank you to Coyote Jones for these 2 stories. I enjoyed them a lot, very original stories and yeah, definitely very believable. As I said in the end of the first one, I cannot imagine working in a Starbucks when you're dealing with people like this. I mean, seriously, come on. Your hot chocolate is 20 degrees over, the limit of what you would say the kids' temp is. But let's be honest, no customers know about that limit. It's just a hot drink. It's a hot chocolate. How can a hot chocolate be too hot, man? What I don't get is surely after this mum checks how hot the hot chocolates are, before she gives them to her kids, she's probably thinking to herself, oh, they're a little bit too hot for my kids. I'm just going to wait for them to cool down for a little bit, we'll give it 5-10 minutes and then they'll be fine. No rush. I mean, it's the same hot chocolate. It's hot. It will cool down a little bit. There's no need to drink it straight away, is there? But no, she just goes completely off the rails. I just don't get it. And also, lady, I don't care if you own your own business. This is Starbucks. This is surely bigger than whatever business you're running. Just get your hot chocolate and get out of it. You're lucky to get away with free drinks cards, in my opinion. Now moving on to our final story of today's video. Entitled Parents, leave everything you have to our children. I'm 39, successful, and am quite well off. My siblings, sadly, are not. My brother, 42, has 3 children. My sister, who is 35, also has 3, with 1 more on the way. My youngest sister, 28, is married and pregnant, but she had nothing to do with the events of this post. We were all raised to believe that money doesn't matter, and all you need is a happy marriage and lots of kids to live a happy life. Being poor and having lots of kids was somehow glorified. Maybe because that's the way our parents lived and wanted to convince themselves that they didn't F up. But fortunately for me, I didn't buy into that nonsense. I always knew I never wanted children. I focused on my career and on achieving success. Today, I have my own house, wonderful pets, and a loving boyfriend. My family, however, seems to think that there's something wrong with my lifestyle. My parents have often commented that my 5-bedroom house is empty without any kids running around. My siblings often tell me I'm selfish for not having kids and actually enjoying my life. However, their disdain for my selfish lifestyle doesn't stop them from begging for money. My brother and sister have called me and asked me to help pay their bills. Now, if it's something serious like clothes or school supplies for their kids, I'm willing to pitch in. But I always refuse when I'm asked to pay for trips to amusement parks, etc. I also paid for my parents to stay in a high-end assisted living facility. They're my parents. I felt that I owed them this much. I have moved them to a less luxurious facility because of something horrible they did. I'll make a post about that too if you're interested, yes please. However, I couldn't help but feel insulted when they sang praises for my siblings for breeding and following in their footsteps, and how my parents wish I had done the same. As if, among all their kids, I'm the biggest disappointment. For this reason, I've distanced myself from them. I only call or visit to check up on them, and I don't let them be a part of my life. The other day, I got a call from my sister asking if she, her husband, my brother, and his wife could come over. I said okay. Then they asked me to leave my fortune to their kids in equal portions. And if I did, they would stop asking me for financial help. They said this as if they were doing me a favor. "You don't have kids, so who are you gonna leave it to?" asked my brother. I told them I was gonna leave my money to charities and that I don't owe them anything. When they went on the "you're selfish" tirade, I told them to get lost. The next morning, I got a call from my dad telling me they were disappointed in me. I simply hung up. The one family member who has stood by me is my youngest sister. She actually has herself together and I could not be more proud of her. Family jealousy, ladies and gents. I'm pretty sure that's what we've got here. It's quite obvious to me. You know, it's just embarrassing. These guys, you know, the majority of your family have had a lot of kids. Fine, if that's what they want to do, absolutely great. They've had a nice life, I assume. But then don't go to someone who's done better off than you just for some money. Like, it's so like cheap and a little bit weird, to be honest. It's your own family. Like, you know, OP has decided not to have children, and for that reason, they probably have more money. They focus on their career. They're doing really well, enjoying their life. Don't then go to them and say, "Oh, can I have a little bit of money?" I mean, it sounds like OP is giving them some money anyway. And then when they say, you know, you need to give all our kids your fortune when you die in your will. No, absolutely not. It's so entitled. Like, come on. OP has said he's giving it to charity. There's literally nothing better you can do with your money after you're dead than give it to charity. Surely. Am I wrong there? What an amazing thing to do. And yeah, your children, I'm sorry, they might be nice, but they do not deserve it. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Entitled Parents. I really hope you have enjoyed this one. Remember, as I said in the intro, make sure you are subscribed to my channel with notifications on. I have so much more content if you are new around here. Yeah, just check it out on the end screen right now. With that all being said, I will see you guys tomorrow for a brand new upload, same time, same place.